I'd like to welcome everyone to our Fall Sports Awards Ceremony. It's a little bit different this year, but we need to do this for everybody involved. And at first, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone would please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now I'd like to introduce our principal, Candace Schott, and she will lead us in the Heart Pledge.
Thank you, Coach Fisher. As a student of Discovery Health Sciences Academy, I promise to honor the heartbeat of Discovery, endure through easy and rigorous tasks, work hard to ensure academic achievement, act responsibly toward people and objects, and display tolerance toward those who are the same as me and those who are different from me. You may be seated. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is such an odd way to do this, I know, but we didn't want to let the time go by any further without honoring you all. We really look forward to the time where we can all be together in one room conducting this ceremony. I'm really proud of our student athletes. Being a student athlete is hard. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of commitment, but being a student athlete during a pandemic is almost impossible. The level of commitment, the level of flexibility our student athletes have had to have and our coaches have had to have, and you as parents have had to be able to allow your child to continue to participate in something that feels like what should be part of a traditional high school career is unprecedented. We thank you for your commitment to your children. We thank you for your commitment to the school. Students, we thank you for your commitment not only to your sport, but to your grades, to be able to continue playing that sport. Our coaches, our athletic director, our entire program has done a phenomenal job in keeping our students safe and active, and I really appreciate all the work you have done. So without further ado, I'll bring Coach Fisher back up to begin the awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schott. Now I will call Dr. Jason Knight up for the Cross Country Awards.
Thank you, Coach Fisher. Hey, everybody. This season, we had a small team of highly dedicated runners. Most were new to running or returning to running after having taken a break. Beginning the season in the heat of August, our team learned to push themselves to run first 1 mile, then 2, then 3, and by the 1st of November, they were running 8 miles a day. 8 miles a day. They achieved this through hard work, pushing themselves to not stop, working out after runs, and supporting each other through the physical and emotional upheaval that comes with the transformation of body and mind, which is necessary for long-distance running. If you're a runner, you know what I'm talking about. The team competed in several meets around the state as well. Those Saturday morning and after-school bus trips laid the foundation on which to build camaraderie and trust among teammates. Each runner strove to increase their speed and decrease their running time. Some meets gave us reason to celebrate, and others were cause for reflection on the importance of repetition and getting out of one's own way. Through each of these meets, they persisted. They returned to practice. They learned and they grew through these experiences. I'm pleased to present the following awards. First award is for endurance through injury. Although he sustained sprains and pulls, he pushed as hard as he could during the season. For endurance, Lewis Scott. Congratulations. For persistence through adversity. This award goes to Jeremiah Wilson. Despite his struggles balancing school and running, classwork and practice, he kept running to the end. Thank you, Jeremiah. The Heart Award. For showing heart, for having a good heart, and for being the most consistently cheerful and unfazed, Timothy Latner. For greatest progress, Dominic Rose. Dominic's increased speed while extending his distance was astronomical. He cut minutes off his average time, surpassing runners who he had begun the season trailing behind. I could not be more proud of you. For excellence in leadership, this goes to our team captain, Claire Clement. Claire not only made her own admirable progress this season, but supported and encouraged her teammates, giving them pep talks before the meets, cheering them on while they ran. Claire, you embodied the role of captain with authority and grace. I'm glad to have witnessed your growth over the course of the season. Thank you. And our last award, this is for distinguished performance. This award goes to Samuel Ruano. Sam began the season with the lowest running time, meaning he was the fastest, and he maintained that record to the end of the season. Only in 9th grade, Sam outran many a competitor, and he set the pace for our team. I have no doubt that he will continue to distinguish himself and shine brightly in years to come. Congratulations, Sam. Congratulations to each of you, our award recipients. I'm proud of you and what you've accomplished individually and as a team this season. You've shown me and Coach Darby, and more importantly, yourselves, that you are capable of ferocious achievements once you set that goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Knight. We're very proud of our cross-country team and the strides that they made this year. Now we will have Coach Grace Bravado, volleyball, with her awards.
Thank you, Coach Fisher. Our volleyball season was very unique and different this year. Our girls worked very hard this summer, working out in the heat of the day, continuing to make themselves better as a team and as individuals. We went as far as practicing in the dirt because we could not find a gym that would let us in during these COVID times. The girls continue to work hard and practice. They never complained once about having to dive in dirt and having to play volleyball in dirt, which is very complicated. We practiced in various locations with mostly away games. The girls had a total of 5 home games, which were never at the same gym twice. Thankfully, EJ let us play a bunch of our home games there. We went 6-10 in our season and finished number 16 in the state. We hosted KDHSA's first home playoff game, which we lost at Grace King. Grace King let us play there. But our girls did very well. They were wonderful, enjoyed the season. So for our awards, we have most valuable player is Claudia Grissel. She received this award for continuing to work hard. She came to practice every day, wanting to become a better athlete, wanting to know how to fix her swing, making sure she was swinging hard enough, snapping her wrist, and getting up as high as she possibly could. Congratulations, Claudia. Our next one is our Most Impact Award, Alyssa Due. She received this award because she is always our person that if we need to score a point, I want her serving, we want her passing, we want her hitting. She was all over the court. Anytime a ball was up, she was making sure that she was hitting the ground, making sure that it didn't touch the ground before she did. She is an amazing player and she continues to work hard and get better every day. Our most inspirational player is Naima Romero. She continued to always be positive, always smiling, making sure that the girls were doing their absolute best and knowing that they can do so much more than what they were doing. She was always our positive influence. Anytime our girls were down, she was in that circle, making sure that our girls were smiling, laughing, and knowing that they can do whatever they wanted to do. Our next award is our most dedicated player, which is Madeline Downing. She had an amazing season, became one of our best passers. She was our libero for most of the season. She made sure that she was able to get where she needed to get to dig a ball, She was always making sure that she was becoming better every day at every practice, at every game. Congratulations, Madeline. And last but not least, our Heart Award goes to Miss Haven, or Grace. She was our person who always kept us smiling, kept us going. She made sure that our team always knew what they were capable of. She would come to practice and just have a great time and become better every day. She was our person who kept us going, and she was an amazing athlete. Congratulations, Grace. Thank you for working hard this summer. Thank you to your families for dedicating your time to us, and we appreciate you, and I'm excited what we can do next season. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Brevard. We are very proud of the volleyball team and what they had to overcome for their season. From practicing out in the back, in the dirt, to even trying maybe to get into sand volleyball, to finally having gyms to play in. Hosting their very first ever Kenner Discovery playoff game was an extreme accomplishment for this school year. So again, thank you, volleyball. Next, we will have Coach Sprunk and the football awards. Coach.
All right, how's everybody doing today? First off, before we get started, I want to first say thank you to our administration, Dr. Patty Glazer, Coach Jeryl Fisher, Miss Candace Schott, Miss Jill Fisher, everyone who had a part in making this athletic season happen. Not a mere 6 months ago, we didn't know what was going to happen with any athletics, much less football. When the pandemic struck, we were kind of all left in limbo, but this administration made sure that we did it safely, we did it the right way. Couldn't be more proud to be a part of this organization, part of this school, and I want to make sure that they get the credit they deserve first off. Second off, I want to thank my wife, my kids, as a coach, especially as a football coach. Your time is limited during the season, especially this season where we didn't know week by week where we'd be playing, what we'd be playing, if we'd be playing. And they kind of took it in stride, so I want to thank them and make sure that's out there too. This season was one for the books. In all my years of coaching, there was absolutely no season that even comes close to this one. From practices being off, practices being on, from the mask updates, the mandates, I couldn't be more proud of our team. They took everything in stride with a roster of over 80 kids. We made sure we did it safely, we did it the right way. And our kids just kept plugging. Every time adversity hit, whether it was a corona case with another team or something like that, our kids just kept pushing. Couldn't be more proud of them. I want to first off recognize my captains, sophomore defensive lineman Deshaun Clark, sophomore offensive lineman Deshaun Clark, running back senior Oscar Casco Jr., linebacker senior Logan Collimer, and linebacker / running back / everything else Matthew Jeryl Senior. I also would like to recognize my seniors. These guys were here, most of them from day one we started this program. As our program is now in our second year in varsity, we took a giant step this year, making the playoffs. Some people said when we started this program we wouldn't win a game for 3 years. Some said we wouldn't make the playoffs for 5 to 7. We did it in year 2, and that's a direct correlation to these players, to this administration, and to this coaching staff. Before I move on to my seniors, I want to go ahead and recognize my coaching staff. These guys are so unselfish. They work tirelessly around the clock. First off, special teams coordinator, defensive line coach Ashton Dewey, offensive line coach, strength and conditioning coordinator, Coach Shannon Craig, offensive coordinator, Coach Kenny Green, running backs coach, Coach Matt Luke. And we have also 2 assistants, Coach Aaron Barris, offensive assistant, and Coach Mitch Wheeler, who also helped out with us this entire season. These guys are some of the best around. Couldn't be more proud to be associated with them. Now for our 2020 seniors, number 2, Connor Dillenkolfer, number 3, Kyle McKinney, number 7, Kyle Rayner, number 11, Aaron Krim, number 12, Chris Hartley, number 13, Oscar Casco Jr., number 22, Michael Murphy, number 23, Drake Johnson, number 25, Matthew Jeryl, number 33, Luis Colazo, number 58, Logan Collimer, number 74, Mohammed Abbas. I want to thank you guys. At any point this year, it would have been easy for you to walk away and say, this isn't for me, I can't do this, it's too much. You never did. You never quit. You never quit this team, and your leadership is direct correlation to where we ended up in the playoffs this year. So thank you guys. I'm forever in debt to you. Now for our awards. This year we had a lot of kids who were deserving of a lot of awards. When it comes down to it, we can only make 5, and it was a very hard decision for our coaches, but we voted on it and felt like this was our best option with our guys. But we want to go ahead and recognize there's a lot of kids that were definitely deserving of these awards. We'll start off with our Heart Award first. This young man was asked to change positions this year. His passion truly shows out throughout football. He's one of those guys that you can see his passion when he plays, how much he loves the game, and he truly plays with a big heart. So it was only fitting that this young man was our Heart Award recipient. That's Mr. Chad Woodson, junior tight end. Next, we're going to go on to our lineman of the year. Our offensive and defensive lines were a strength of our team this year. For being a young team with mostly freshmen, sophomores, and a couple of juniors sprinkled in and one senior, we had a lot of linemen that could deserve this award. We rushed for over 4,000 yards this year. And that alone is a credit just for these guys. We're only playing 7 games. This year, the one that stood out the most to us was sophomore offensive lineman Deshaun Clark. Next, we're going to move on to our offensive MVP. I'm proud of this young man's accomplishment, not only in the field, but where he's come in the classroom as well. We've seen a positive change in him over the last year. He's helped us this year offensively in many different roles, quarterback, receiver, running back. His receiving yards were over 700, and his rushing yards were over 400. He's combined for over 1,100 yards total yards. He also has 7 touchdowns in a year. Sophomore wide receiver, Mr. LeBaron Martin. Defensive MVP. Once again, when you lose guys like a Robert James and guys like that, it's really hard for some people necessarily to step up. Our defense did that this year. We had a lot of guys who were deserving. This young man is now a second time first team all district selection, and now in his sophomore year, defensive lineman Deshaun Clark. And our final award is our Mr. Swampball Award. This award goes to a young man year in and year out who is always working hard in the field, but just hard in the classroom. This young man, in a mere 7 games, amassed 788 yards rushing. He had 38 tackles on defense as one of our only both-way players. He's received over 11 college scholarship offers and will sign on signing day next month. On top of that, he's an absolutely outstanding kid. You never hear any trouble out of him. He's a leader by example. He takes care of his grades, carrying well over a 3.5 GPA. Couldn't be more proud to name this young man as our second time Mr. Swamp Owl, Matthew Jeryl. Once again, thank everyone for your participation this year, for your help. From our parents out there who donated pregame meals, to helping out our team, for being flexible with our schedules. Once again, for Coach Fisher, for me and him having more conversations than I do with my wife sometimes during the season, for constantly moving things around and being a great help for us. Our administration, thank all you guys. It's been a heck of a season. We look forward to next year as we return 16 to 22 starters, and the sky's the limit for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Sprunk. Football season was really, really interesting. Moving games from on a Monday to a different place, and making the playoffs, which was really astonishing. The kids really worked hard, and we're really proud of them, as you have to take one step at a time. And we kind of jumped over a couple steps and made the playoffs in the second year. And then moving that game from a Friday to a Saturday, and during the holidays. So Coach Sprunk, excellent job. You football players, excellent job. Y'all worked extremely hard, and we're extremely proud. Next, we will have our swimming awards with Coach KT Caldera.
Good evening, parents and athletes. This swim season was a bit different than previous seasons, not just because of COVID, but because our team grew to the largest it had ever been. We welcomed a few more girls to our predominantly boys swim team. This year was the first year we brought a girl relay team to the LHSAA state swim meet. We start every swim season with one team goal: to achieve our lowest swim times, to compete at the LHSAA state meet event. We had an extremely successful season. We had 2 boys qualify for 3 individual events and 1 girl qualify for 2 individual events. We also brought 2 groups of relays to compete this season. This is an extremely large accomplishment as we only swam 6 swim meets total this swim season. Our boys placed 13 overall in the 200 medley relay and 12th overall in the 200 free relay out of 29 teams. Chase Arnold, as a freshman, placed 17th overall out of 25 swimmers in the 200 IM. For our girls, Chloe Fan placed top 10 out of 15 swimmers in the 200 IM and top 12 of 25 in the 500 free as a freshman. We cannot be prouder of our swim team and thankful for the efforts and dedication of each swimmer. Leadership comes in many forms, and for swimming, we have been blessed to have Luis Collazo serve as an enthusiastic leader. Luis came to practice and swim meets wanting to improve not only his times, but to do anything to help his teammates improve. He always thought about the team and was always a friendly face and encouraging voice. We will greatly miss him next year. We award the Most Valued Leadership Award to Luis Collazo. Endurance is one of the key ingredients that make a team function. Ethan Smith showed endurance throughout the season, whether it was practicing at 2 practices or taking coaches' critiques and applying it to his technique. He continued to improve himself throughout the season. He has always shown perseverance. We will surely miss him next year and wish him the best of luck out as he enlists in the United States Coast Guard at the end of this school year. For these reasons, the Endurance Award goes to Ethan Schmidt. The Louisiana State meet is the top meet that any high school swimmer can qualify for. Kenner Discovery had multiple swimmers qualify for this meet. Chloe Fan was a force to be reckoned with the moment she jumped in the pool. As a freshman, Chloe qualified for every event that she swam. We are very excited for her to swim at the state meet because she was in a place to perform very well. Chloe qualified in the top 10 for the 200 IM and the top 12 for the 500 freestyle. She performed to the best of her abilities all season long, and for this reason, we award Chloe Fan the award for Girls' Best State Performance. For boys, we had another freshman that came in like a force. Chase qualified for many events throughout the season. We are excited to have Chase compete in the state meet with breaststroke being his specialty. Chase swam 2 individual events at the state meet, placing in the top 18 in the 200 IM and helping his relays compete to the best of their abilities. We award Chase Arnold the Best Boys State Performance. This award goes to a swimmer that displayed endurance and perseverance every practice or every meet. He showed up every single practice determined to improve himself and better his times, always willing to hear what he could do to improve in the water. He showed heart in every swim. This award goes to Christian Rogan for being the most determined swimmer. When choosing the recipient of the Heart Award, one swimmer always popped in our minds this season. She showed heart every single practice and swim meet. She always asked after each race what she needed to work on for the next. She listened to every critique that was given and took time to improve her stroke. She always cheered on every single teammate, giving them words of encouragement. We are surely going to miss her vibrant attitude next year. We are happy to give Caroline Randall the 2020 Heart Award for swimming.
Thank you, Coach Katie. We're very proud of the swim team. They traveled West Bank, East Bank. Swim meets were canceled at one day, and then they had to go to the next day and then make the trip to the state all the way to Shreveport. Very proud. Swimming program is going to continue to grow. Again, thank you, Coach KT. So, in closing, I would like to thank everyone that had anything to do with our athletic program. Dr. Glazer, Ms. Schott, Dr. Kennedy, Mr. Hollis, our business department, because we always have to have them involved. My wife, Jill Fisher, with everything she has to do with paperwork and getting after people to get that done. Our student athletes, our teachers, and of course the parents. Without you guys, none of this can happen, especially in this COVID year. It's been interesting. I hope to see everybody again in the spring and possibly without having a virtual athletic awards. Again, we're very proud of all our athletes. We're proud of all of our coaches. They worked very hard to keep making sure kids are safe. And we need to remember, wash your hands and mask up. Thank you for joining us.